Welcome to Bago. We're still exploring Isaiah, looking for end times insights. When we get to chapter 5, I'm looking around our area for a vineyard on a hill, and I can't find one. We put avocado plantations on our fertile hills around here. And then I thought of bringing you to this beautiful place that's nestled in behind a hill, behind Bago Bluff, which is a very prominent feature in our area, a bluff of conglomerate rock with stunted trees, 360 metres above sea level. And tucked in away behind Bago Bluff is Bago Maize and Winery. So this was originally a cattle property run by Jim Mobb's father, and then 40 years ago, Jim and Kay Mobbs decided to plant some 1 hectare of Chardonnay vines, and that's grown about 10 times, I think, and so they've got quite a substantial area planted out to vineyard. And they've also introduced this maize behind me, and it is one of the largest hedge mazes in the world, made of 2 kilometres of lily-pilly hedges. Great job. You'll hear some people hiding down there, getting lost. And I'll just quickly show you around. You see how vast the maze is. There's the vineyard in the distance. Okay. So Jim very kindly welcomed us here, and he loves hiking, so he led us on a hike up to Bago Bluff, which is very popular with our group because we saw a lot of country you don't normally see, and came back here for wine, nibbles, cheese platter, coffee, you name it. Yeah. So we open up at Isaiah 5, and young Isaiah, he's been trying desperately to warn people of Israel, especially Judah, especially Jerusalem, and even the elders, resorting to even likening to Sodom and Gomorrah. Quite shocking, his warnings, and they reach thousands of years into the future. So this is his opening shot in the first 5 chapters. And then he suddenly changes tack to share with us a song. Now, over the years, I have copped some ridicule for exploring the original languages of our Bible, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. And I'm certainly not a scholar, but it has greatly enhanced my understanding. I'm sure of that. And this chapter is a classic example of that, because this is not just singing a song. This is a mistral. This is a song of action. Remember Moses leading the children of Israel in a march away from Egypt, and he sang as a mistral. You only pick this up from the Hebrew. The same way, Isaiah is sharing us a song of a minstrel. He is taking us up this hill to show us God's vineyard and how disappointing it has turned out. And in fact, when it says a vineyard on a fertile hill, it's not quite like that in Hebrew. It is really the horn of a son of richness. I'm not going to try and explain what that means. However, let me just remind you of Jacob. You remember God called him Israel? So Jacob is Mr. Israel. And his father, Isaac, fathered only 2 sons. Well, Jacob's different. He fathers 12 sons from 4 women. There's at least 1 daughter, maybe more. And Jacob is in his 80s, working for his father-in-law Laban. And finally, the family take refuge in Egypt. When they go there are about 70 men in the family. That's a big increase. And in the end, Jacob adopts his 2 grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh, as sons when Jacob is 147 years old. He's quite the fruitful guy. Anyway, the vineyard turns out very disappointing. God decides to abandon it. But then Isaiah uses a very cute play on words at the end that you only discover if you explore the Hebrew. And he uses 2 pairs of, better get this right, homophones. They're words that sound the same, but mean something very different. And so, in the English, it speaks of, instead of finding justice, there is bloodshed or oppression. And instead of righteousness, there is, a cry. And in fact, in Hebrew, it's more than a cry, it's a scream. So this is where it's got to. Yeah, bloodshed and a cry instead of justice and righteousness. God's had enough. So let me finish off by showing you some of the produce here from the winery. You may not be into wines, but let me share with you what the labelling is, which I'm sure you'll appreciate. On the left, you have the blue wren and the possum, the bowerbird, the lorikeet, kookaburra, green tree frog, galah, and the fabulous crimson rosella. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Bago Maize and Winery, because I certainly enjoy coming here, and so does the family. That's it for now. Thank you.